G&J Gaming presents Press the Start Button, Episode 21. Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy G Allen back again with another episode. Sorry for looking such a hot mess right now. As you can see, I'm not looking my very best at the moment. And I know it's been a minute since I made some videos for y'all. Don't worry, I'm still doing them. As far as this one right now. So until I start looking my very best again, this is what you'll see. You like the new look? Okay, we're good. Y'all know what time it is. It's time for another episode of Marvel Matters. Now, I've already explained to y'all what Marvel Madness is on my last episode, which is the Hulk episode. You're welcome to check that out on my channel. With that being said, let's get on with the video. A moment of silence, please, as my PS5 comes to life. And there we go. Did you guys like my profile picture? I thought you might. Now, as I said before, I'm going to be taking a break from Nintendo and focus on some other systems, or as some of you would say, some other platform. And today, I'm going to be reviewing one of the games from today's generation. That's mostly played by kids, and that game is Fortnite. Now, I'm not going to be actually playing the game. Instead, I'm going to be showing you some of the footages that I recorded from my PlayStation. And here's the first clip now. Okay, first off, excuse the blurriness from the video. Now, as you can see, I'm Spider-Man and my nephew is Venom. Now, when I got this Spider-Man outfit, I got it around the time Fortnite updated to the Marvel chapter. That was early on. And a few months later, they, got rid of it and then brought it back another few months later. So that's when I got that skin for free, along with the web shoot and the emote for it. Now, when it comes to emotes, you can mix and match with whatever emote you want for your character. It doesn't have to be a specific thing for a specific character. Yeah, it doesn't have to be a specific emote. You can just mix and match with any emote with any character that you have. It is at that particular moment where I decided to adjust the screen so you can get a better look. There we go. Now, earlier in this video, you saw me jump off a bus and deploy my web shoot. Well, because he's Spider-Man. At any time you start the game, your own character comes out with their own type of floating device, whether it's a parachute or a glider, umbrella, anything. As immediately as you land, you come out empty-handed. The object of the game is to survive and be the last one standing. It's basically like a game of laser tag, but one with the most shots at the end of the game wins. But in this one, it's last man standing or last group standing. if you're playing anywhere from duos to squads. The object of the game is to find loot and health for you if you're playing solos, your partners if, like I said, you're playing anywhere from squads. I mean, from duos to squads, sorry. Around here, you can find all kinds of weapons, anywhere from the pistols to shotguns to snipers, just about pretty much everything. You know what I'm saying? With every update comes a brand new weapon that they came up with, or something that they use from certain video games or certain movies. Well, maybe not from certain video games, anywhere from certain movies to TV shows, put it that way. Like, for example, when they upgraded to the Ninja Turtles chapter, they had weapons laying around where you can be Raph, Donatello, Mike, or Leo, and you can use their abilities as Ninja Turtles. Now, as you can see here, I'm reviving my teammate, which is my nephew. And like I said, anytime you're playing anywhere between duos and squads, if your teammate is down, your teammate's health turns red and it drains down every few seconds, giving you the indication that you have a certain amount of time to revive your teammate. If you are unable to revive your teammate turns into a reboot card, and you will have a certain amount of time to get that reboot card and go to the nearest reboot fan to reboot him there. You should also keep in mind that with the certain amount of damage you take while you're down, whether it's taking damage from gunshots or taking damage from the storm, which I'll mention later, your health drains faster, so keep that in mind. The same can go for you. Now, if you're playing solos, once you're dead, you know you're dead. This is pretty much like 007 in a sense, or any other game that has the same concept. Now, I'll get to the weapons and the items in a little bit after this clip. I just want y'all to, and kind of enjoy the moment here because this is a Marvel Madness episode. From the looks of it. So, Now, as you just saw, I love how he did that right here. Captain America. I don't know that. Yep. I don't know if that's Captain America or what. Or a black version of it. I don't know. But you see him with the Captain America shield. That's kind of cool. And the reason why we've been hanging in there for the past few minutes, I mean, that's pretty much my strategy when I play this game. So, as you can see, we're moving on to something else, searching for another treasure chest. As you can see, there's a knee caper. Again, I'll explain the items later in the game. But moving on. Once again, the strategy for me for playing this game is to hide. That way, I don't have to deal with a lot of people. I could just let them wear each other out until there's me and one other person left. Or in this case, me and my nephew versus two other players. And as you can see, I just opened up the map to see where we are and to see how many people we have to deal with. In this case, we got 23 people left. The reason why it says 25 because it counted me and my nephew. And again, we're hiding in the bathroom somewhere in the game. But moving on. As you saw a few seconds ago, it said 10 players remaining, which is really 8, because we are trying to win. You'll see. You'll see later on. I opened up a map again to see where we are and how close are we to the storm, and we try our best to avoid it. In case you don't, for those that never played Fortnite, the storm is the purple, which is on the map that you've seen earlier. You want to try your best to avoid the storm. as much as possible. Once again, all that purple that's surrounding the map which you just saw is the storm. And you want to try your best to survive and stay in the circle as much as possible. Otherwise, you'll be taking storm damage till you're dead. Also, if you notice the blue wall that's been covering these trees, that's the storm. Just so you know. And just like that, me and my nephew have won our victory royale. That's a good way to start it off, right? I simply just love that little anime, that little transformation. He goes from Eddie to Venom, or Venom to Eddie, you know. Now, before I move on to the next clip, let's do a little recap on the weapons and items, starting with the different types of shield. Let's start off with the least favorite yet most common item in the game, and that's the small shield potion. Now you can find them pretty much anywhere in the game, particularly the treasure chests. Now for each take gives you 25% shield. Taking two of these gives you only 50% shield, no more. Next, we have the somewhat favorite, yet also most common item in the game, and that is the shield potions. I call them big shields. Of course, with each take gets you 50%. Another equals 100. You already know. Next, we have the shieldfish. Now, eating two of these can give you 80%, but in order to get 100%, you'll need to find a chug can, which would give you 10%, or a chug splash that will give you 20%. So, go figure. For the final two items, we have the splash truck. If you find one in certain areas of the map, it will not only grant you 100% shield, but 100% health as well. And the same thing can be said for the number one item in the game, and that is the Chug Jug. As I mentioned earlier, you can acquire any weapons in the game, anywhere from pistols, rifles, to snipers, etc. Me, I'm more of a shotgun specialist, sort of. What you see here is an example of a drum shotgun, from common to legendary. Now, each color represents the damage that the weapon can do. The common, uncommon, and rare are the easiest colors to find when acquiring a certain weapon, especially a preferred weapon. The epic you can find pretty much anywhere in the game, 9 times out of 10, if you come across a blue treasure chest, for example. The legendary weapon is very rare. However, if you happen to acquire a legendary weapon, keep in mind that you won't be invincible. You are still more likely to lose that weapon. And if you are encountered by a player with a legendary weapon, you must have two most important things: have good aim and good defense. Now that I've explained the basics of the items and weapons in Fortnite, let's continue on with the next clip as part of Marvel Madness. Here we go! Now, I know what y'all are thinking right now. This is supposed to be a Marvel Madness episode. Why are you playing as a Ninja Turtle? You'll see why shortly. Just to keep you guys aware of what's going on, this clip is from the past chapters. Now, in case I didn't say this before, the game updates every few months. With every update comes a new map, a new theme, which means different weapons, different locations to explore. Of course, this clip, it had different weapons at the time. Once again, excuse the blurriness. I'll find some way to fix it in later videos. Right now, this is what you get. It'll clear up in a few minutes or so. Okay, so now that the screen is adjusted a little bit and cleared up, Let me give you a little rundown on what's on the bottom left corner of the screen. The squares on the bottom left corner of the screen represents your inventory. The first square on the far left is your character's main weapon. For example, I am playing as Leonardo. What is Leonardo's weapon? Of course, it's the katana blades. I mean, who hasn't grew up watching the Ninja Turtles? I mean, come on, they're a childhood memory. Am I right? The rest of the squares is any weapons or items that you pick up throughout the game. What I like to do is grab three of my preferred weapons and have the other two squares for my shield and health. When playing a game like this, my advice to you is manage your inventory wisely, as shown here. I had to make some sacrifices for my items here and there, and that happens a lot when playing this game. Of course, with every character that you buy in the lobby comes with its own emote, its own main weapon, backpack, and all of the cool stuff relating to that character. It's almost like going to the toy store and buying an action figure. Except in this case, each set is not sold separately. It comes with the whole package. If you have enough V-Bucks, or enough money to buy V-Bucks, that is. I tried to talk to Iron Man and see what he can give me, but he gave me a free shield, which is a good thing. Anytime you come across these characters with the three dots, they'll usually end up giving you something good. In case some of you missed it earlier, I ended up hiring somebody right when the screen cleared. When you hire somebody, they'll end up helping you out, getting rid of as many players as possible. All you have to do is pay a certain amount of gold, depending on their price. Everybody has a price. Everybody knows that, and that's the way of the world. Now, what you see right here is the Flowberry Fizz. And the reason why I didn't mention that item earlier is because, like I said earlier, with every update comes something new. New weapons, new items, new map, etc. Certain items like that, they come and go. What items like the shield potions that I mentioned earlier, they stay because they're like the main items that you use along with the medikits and everything else. So See, I got my partner with me. She's in front of the door, keeping a lookout. Isn't that nice? Let her do some of the work. That way you won't have to do all the work. You know what I'm saying? Fortnite is a very hard game. You barely win in this one. That's why I showed you clips instead of me actually playing because it gets very difficult. The game has a mind of its own. Other days it let you win, other days it won't. You only get to win 5 out of 50 times. I'm exaggerating a little bit, of course, but that's how the game is sometimes. Very difficult. Let me speed this up a little bit. See, I didn't even have to lift a finger on that one. My partner took care of it for me. Follower downed or eliminated a player. Now you see why I called this the Marvel Madness episode, because I just killed a player who is Mysterio. Huh? Right? Okay, guys, now you see this right here? This is where the best part comes in. Again, you'll see why in a few more minutes. Bear with me, people. Once again, guys, excuse the blurriness from this video. Once again, I have no idea why my screen decides to do that. Again, I'll get it fixed in later videos. But what you just saw me shooting at was Mrs. Incredible, and she had to make a quick escape because I don't blame her. And finally, the moment that we've all been waiting for. You'll see why in the next, let me see, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And boom! I am Doom. Dr. Von Doom. Cool, right? The good thing about this is that my health upgraded to 500 instead of the usual 100. The confusing thing about this, however, is that the controls for Doom are a little different, so I had no idea what I was doing at first, but it didn't take me long to figure it out. This is one of the rarest videos that I did, and it's a good thing I recorded it for this occasion. Another confusing thing about this is after I eliminate a player, I gain health back, which I had no idea until later on. Other than that, this is sick. This is the best Marvel Madness episode I ever did by far. But don't worry, I still have more to come. See what I was trying to do? I was trying to pick up a shield potion, a medikit, and now I was trying to get in the car to get away, but couldn't because I was doomed. Again, it was confusing at first, but then I kind of got the hang of it. And the controls for Doom, like I said, are very different. But still, it's awesome. For real. This is crazy. At least I was able to gain some health back by busting up some of the slurp cactuses in this map. Again, this is an old footage of the last chapter, or the last few chapters, I should say. Again, this map is pretty much different, but anyway. playing through this, I didn't realize that the landmark said the damn bridge. Where they came up with that idea? The damn bridge. I wonder. Now I know what some of y'all are thinking too. I'm supposed to be dead. With this health I got, I should be gone by now. But for some reason, I was lucky enough to still survive. But damn, if I'm not the luckiest person on earth to survive in a match like this, and this is for the win. That's something you don't see in Fortnite every day. Getting a victory royale with being Doom, or by being Doom, I should say. That's something you don't see. But damn, did I not play a hell of a game that day. Now, before I move on to my final clip, let me just say a couple things. Shout out to my niece and my nephews. I love y'all. Y'all are the reason why I'm doing this video for you. It also wouldn't be a Marvel Madness episode without mentioning this man. Rest in peace, Chadwick. This one is for you. Now, this mode right here is called Reload. It's basically the same thing as Battle Royale / Zero Build, except you get to reboot on your own without a reboot van. You see. And right now, I'm playing as the one and only King T'Challa, aka the Black Panther. And who is my partner for this video? That would be my niece. I'm not going to say no names, but she is Princess Shuri, the Princess of Wakanda. And I must say, during the time of the Marvel chapter, I am surprised they never had any vibranium weapons in the Fortnite universe. It is quite a shock. Now, as you can see, I have been wounded, and my sister Shuri has decided to take me somewhere safe so that I can be healed without having to reboot myself. As you can see on the screen, it says hold square to be rebooted, which wouldn't be necessary right here because he has chosen to find a spot to heal me. As I said earlier, if you're playing Battle Royale or Zero Builds, you will need to find a reboot van after collecting your partner's reboot card. Once you have done that, your partner is back in the game, and the same can go for you. But here, this mode, it is not necessary. Because this is once again the reboot mode. And this video right here, you can say this is one of my most crowning achievements. You'll see why very shortly. This is one thing I don't get about the players in Fortnite. Why do they choose to run after they shoot you? It makes absolutely no sense. Shouldn't they finish what they started? And you see here that I have been rebooted. And as you can see, I am not dead. As you can see, I'm running from the storm. Another thing I don't understand is my sister has designed this suit for it to be indestructible. I don't get why can't I withstand anything, especially when I'm wearing a suit. And why, out of all people, do I need a medikit to refuel health? Fortnite rules, I guess. While I'm doubting out for a few seconds, why don't we check out back on my niece and give her a little screen time, shall we? My niece's username is Big Dog underscore the boss. And you can see how well she's doing. Oh well, I'm revived again. You see, I just collected a crown. And this is why I said this is my crowning achievement. And it is very appropriate for this occasion. You know why? Because I am King T'Challa, son of King T'Chaka. You see how we work together as siblings, especially when it comes to defending our home, which is Wakanda. Wakanda forever. You see the timer on the right side of the screen. We have a minute left until we can no longer reboot ourselves. As I said earlier, hiding for me is the best strategy in the game. That way you can deal with less people. Wait until other players take each other out until there's no one left but me. Or in this case, me and my sister, Shuri. Once again, I had to speed this up. Also, please excuse the background noise as I was narrating to this video. And just like that, we have won. We have did it for Wakanda. Wakanda forever! Well, this concludes the Fortnite episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. As usual, leave a like and comment your thoughts about this video. Also, comment what should I do next. For those that are new, please subscribe to the channel for more gaming content like this. Also, subscribe to my second YouTube channel. There is nothing left for me to say except goodbye. See you next time.